So we are on contact session number 4, 17th of January on information technology. So today we're talking the positive point on the value of prayer. So just going tolling a bell in a temple is to awaken oneself to the God within, not to awaken the God outside. How many of us do this? There was a Guruji who had mastered the scriptures, Vedas and Upanishads. One day he was teaching Vedas to his disciples. A cat was moving around. This, however, did not disturb the Guruji, but was a distraction to some of his disciples. So the Guruji instructed his disciples to get hold of the cat and tether it to the pillar to prevent distraction. As his nuisance continued to recur on the following days, the cat was regularly tethered to the pillar before the Guruji started his teaching. After some years, the Guruji passed away. One of his disciples became the new head of the ashram. The practice of tethering the cat to the pillar continued while he taught the disciples. After a few months, the cat died. The next day, when the new Guruji began his teachings, he noticed that the cat was missing. He said, "Don't you know that a cat must be tethered to the pillar here during my teachings? This is our tradition. Please go at once and find a cat for this purpose." So the disciples promptly obeyed his orders and brought the cat. So you need to not just only follow the tradition, but you should not miss the spirit of the tradition. It's a devotion. It's a devotion. There is no need for external peaceful atmosphere for one to pray or meditate. It is seen in the actions, in the attitudes. Whatever we do, whatever tasks we perform, if you do that with total involvement, be it our work, your cooking, your office work, your whatever you do, that itself is the best prayer. God will give us more than what you want. Don't work for worship. Work can be worship. As we say, the most unintelligent person of all is the person who reflects to profit from his miseries. Just keep telling yourself, I don't dance because I'm unhappy. I dance because I'm happy. And prayer is not to lighten your burden, but to strengthen your back. So once you keep these things in mind, your life will become wonderful. So I'm sure you would have noticed the request that we have been asked to specify. So please respond. And we have been also asked the people who don't respond to be ejected from the meeting. So I can make you select your name and click remove from meeting. So please be alert, answer questions, wish a quick good evening, so that tells us that you are alive. I hope you are able to see my PPT and hear me out. So somebody quickly confirm that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chandana. Started the recording, told the students, please remember this, read this every time I'm reading this out loud. Just logging in does not guarantee attendance. Continue till the end. We know how long you stayed in the session. We have a good AI working for us. You need to make the class more interactive. Whenever professor calls your name and number, you need to respond. Otherwise, absent. Already told to you. So today we are going to talk about the ITIL and its relationship to ITS. So this you would have already had a good exposure to ITIL as a part of your IT infrastructure project management. So here we're going to talk about the ITIL process development leading to ITIL service, origins, comparison, and some of the myths. So we have very interesting case studies to walk you through an entire ITIL setup and then into incident, problem, change report, knowledge management report, and how to communicate that the change management is completed. All of this you're going to see for a applied to a real life problem. So here we're going to talk about the developments leading to ITIL service management, origins of ITIL, quality approach, criteria, comparison, and common myths. We start off with the ITIL process introduction and comparison. Infrastructure, information technology, infrastructure library, ITIL. ITIL has got 5, version 3. So it's got 5 service design, transition, operation, continual service improvement, and service strategy. So to take this and I compare it to a normal day-to-day process, and then we try to understand the application of that onto a service will help us understand things in a very better fashion. So let's say you want to build your own house. You will start off by identifying the land. So that starts your service strategy. After you identify the land, to make sure it is properly located, then you go to an architect and start designing your home. That's your service design. After you're done designing your home, you will start building your house. That is service transition. After you build your house, you will move to the house, that is service operation. And then you will have small issues to fix. That is continual service. How do I apply this to an IT service? Something like electronics, like a Geo is going to roll out in a few years, 6G service, let's say. So they will do a service strategy. Where all can I implement? Which are all the places that are better? Which are all the organizations that I should do? Where do I lay my cables? Where do I put my antennas? Choose the location and then start designing how to implement it. Then you start implementing it as a service transition, and then you announce a date, and then you start the service, put it in operation, and then people calling with issues can be handled using the continuous service. My students are there, 75. Give it another 3 minutes and I log the session. Please tell your friends, the session will be logged in another 5 minutes. Anybody getting dropped out of the session can ping me, I'll reopen only then. So what is ITIL? ITIL is a set of framework or a set of IT service management best practices that is going to focus on aligning the IT services with what the business needs. That is the key component here. So what is that it is going to do? It is going to describe a best practice and which is not specific to your organization. It is not organization specific or it is not technology specific. It is not going to talk about your organization. It's not going to go and tell you install these technologies. No, but can be applied by an organization for establishing an integration with the organization's strategy, delivering value, maintaining a minimal level of competence. It allows organizations to establish a baseline from which it can plan, implement, and measure, and also it is used to demonstrate compliance and to measure improvement. The beauty is it is a public domain framework for practitioners. So what does ITIL constitute? ITIL constitutes codes of practice which will help you with the quality management of IT services and the IT infrastructure processes in which the services are matched to the likes of the business need. It gives you the best practice guidance. It is a methodology of what works in the actual practice. Derived from what practitioners around the world have indicated as it truly works. It is non-proprietary. What do I mean is it is not a single vendor view. Or you don't have to pay to apply it in your organization. It's very comprehensive. It captures all of the essential service support and the service delivery processes and integrates them to work together. The example is incident, error, issue, problem, fault, etc. My search is about understanding the organization's objectives. We're going to deal in detail about it later. Coming up, slides coming up, we have a good example to walk you through the entire steps. So understands organizational objectives and the customer needs and provides strategic guidance for investments in services. It includes service value definition, business case development, service assets, market analysis. Service design turns a service strategy into a plan for delivering the business objective. Technology service delivery. Then comes the service transition. Develops and improves capabilities of introducing new services into your supported environments. So as we said, it relates to the delivery of services required by a business into a live operational. It encompasses the project side of IT. Then comes the service operation. So managers services is in supported environments. So aims to provide best practice for achieving the delivery of agreed levels of both end-to-end users and the customers. Service operation includes ops management, service desk. And CSI is about achieving incremental and large-scale improvement services. When I'm going to compare the ITIL with the ITSM process, ITSM is what we are studying as a part of our infrastructure management course. Is there a one-to-one mapping? Some of them do have availability. Performance becomes a part of capacity management. Production acceptance becomes a part of release management. Change to change, problem to problem. Storage and network will become a part of your, it's not specifically covered in ITI. Configuration to configuration, capacity to capacity. Strategic security is called as security management. Business continuity is called as IT security. There is no facilities management per se in ITI. The key ITIL principles tells you IT services are aligned to the customer's needs. Dynamic life cycle approach to service. Interconnections between processes. Then we have the quality of service, reduced cost to serve because of use of standard process. That's an advantage. ITIL is not a methodology, please remember that. It's just a complete set of predefined low-level processes, which provides you only the framework with which you can build. These are the different processes on. Some of them will go in detail, as you would have seen in detail in your last year. Now, we will also touch upon some of these. The IT service management talks about the evolution to a service-oriented IT organization is going to lead us to the three primary objectives of IT service management. So what we will achieve, we will ensure that the organization's business needs are supported by a high quality, cost-effective, value-adding IT services. We're going to improve the quality of IT service provision. We're going to reduce the long-term cost of IT service provision. On the service strategy level, we're going to establish the overall strategy of IT services for IT service management. What's the primary objective? The primary objective is to provide superior performance to competing alternatives. Service organizations like British Telecom seek to know what the customers need. So we start with a strategy generation. We determine which services are to offer, to whom should I offer, and how to determine how to differentiate the organizations from competing alternatives. Then comes the demand management. Understand and anticipate the patterns of the business activity influence demands for IT services. The best example is British Telecom's own calling package, which targeted day use or evenings or weekends use, etc. Strategy process also handles the service portfolio management, which describes the different IT services and the terms of business value, in terms of the business value. So what does it provide the services in terms of business values, and then it will articulate business needs and the provider response. So it also represents the commitments and the investments made by a service provider across all customers and marketplaces. You look at the financial management, it is responsible for managing an IT service provider's budget. When I move to service design, we're going to walk you through an example, don't worry. The design of appropriate and innovative IT services, including their architecture, the process, the policies, whether do they meet the current and the future agreed business requirements. So the service catalog is like your menu card. It ensures it lists out all the services that are produced and maintained containing information of all of the operational services. What does it contain? It only contains the customer-facing view of the IT services in use, how they are intended to be used, the business processes they enable, and the level and the quality of service the customer can expect from each service. The service level management ensures that an agreed level of IT service is provided for all current IT services and that future services are delivered to achieve targets.
Excuse me, sir.
Supply management. Yes. Yeah. Anyone speak? Got dropped. Some of you got dropped. Supplier management. To manage suppliers and services they supply to provide a seamless quality of IT service, ensuring that the value of the money is obtained. So each service provider has to should have a formal process for the management for all suppliers and contracts. And the process should adapt to cater for the importance of the supplier and our contract and the potential business impact on the provision of the services. Then comes your availability management, which ensures that the level of service availability, which is delivered in all services, is matched to or exceeds the current and future agreed needs of the business in a cost-effective. So this process depends heavily on the measurement of service component achievements with regards to availability. So what to measure, how to report it, depends on which activity is being supported, who the recipients are, and how the information is to be utilized. Then comes your capacity management, which ensures that cost justifiable IT capacity in all areas of IT always exists, where we need to match to the current and the future needs of the business in a very, very timely fashion. So this provides a point of focus and management for all capacities and the performance related issues when it comes to service and the resources. Then comes your information security management. When I talk about security, we have to immediately recall the word CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So the information security management aligns IT security with business security, and it also ensures that the information security is effectively managed in all service and service management. So what is my objective? The objective is to protect the interests of those relying on information and the systems and communication that deliver the information from harm resulting from failures of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. CIA triad in the security world stands for confidentiality, talks about things that should be seen only by the people who are supposed to see it. Integrity talks about modification to be allowed only by the people who are supposed to modify it. And availability talks about when there is a need to access it, it is available. The service continuity management is also called as a business continuity or resilient system. It is the process of ensuring that the required IT, technical, and service facilities are always available, even as agreed on the SLA. We're going to look at SLAs, agreed upon SLAs and the basic timeline scales. So what is the purpose? Purpose is to maintain the necessary ongoing recovery capability within the IT services and their supporting components. When I say service transition is going to build, test, and deploy a release and establish that a new or a change service will deliver the requirement that is required or specified by the customer and the stakeholder. Then we have change management. Change management, we're going to look at all this with an example. I'm going to walk you through that because, like as you said last time, it's better to look at a case study rather than just running through the slide so that you can connect, because your exam questions will be based on case studies. So change management is required, could be because of the changing business requirements or reducing the incidents and getting a fix for those incidents. Once the change is made, we'll have to put it into production, which is will be taken care of, will be taken care by release and deployment management. Then we have to do service validation and testing, which assures that the service will be provided or will provide value to customers and their business. Then comes your knowledge management. We're going to look at that beautifully. So it's going to enable the organization to improve the quality, ensuring that the data is available throughout the cycle. Knowledge is wealth. Service operation is expected to focus on the activities required to operate the services and maintain their functionality as defined in the SLAs. So to coordinate and carry out the activities and processes required to deliver and manage services to business users and the customers are agreed levels. So in the process operation, we will talk about event management. So detect the event, make sense of them, find out the appropriate control actions. Incident management focuses on primary on returning the IT services to the user as quickly as possible to minimize the adverse impact on the business operation. So when it comes to this operation process, there is incident management, there is workaround, there is problem management, change management. So to give a very simple example for all of us to quickly understand, what I would say is, if we are talking about you use a bike to go to your office. So one morning you go and you start your bike. The bike doesn't start. You can see a picture of Mohan Krishna sitting in a bike. So Mohan Krishna goes and starts the bike doesn't start. So will Mohan Krishna skip going to office? No. He will find a way to go to office, either take an auto, a taxi, a friend, and he will reach the office. That is called as a workaround. When Mohan Krishna comes in the evening, starts the bike starts. He says, Ola, what's the problem? Then the next day morning, Mohan Krishna starts the bike again, the bike doesn't start. Now, if it happens only once, then it is an incident. If it happens more than one time, it becomes a problem. Preventing incidents from happening and minimize the impact of incidents that must be present. So what do you do? Mohan Krishna is going to go and find the root cause. So I called his name 5 times. He's yet to put good afternoon in the chat. So he's a good candidate for being marked as absent. If he doesn't say the name of his bike in the chat window, we're going to make him absent. So Mohan Krishna has to respond before I complete this example. So when Mohan Krishna comes and starts the bike, it still doesn't work, then he goes out to find the root cause of the problem. That is problem management. The incident turns into a problem. So since Mohan Krishna, are you there? If you can't speak, you will have to say good afternoon or GA in the chat. Otherwise, I am going to eject you. I'm going to remove you from the meeting because I don't think he's even here. Gorle Mohan Krishna. Are you there? Don't tell me that your mic is not working. You can. That's a standard story everybody tells. Then you'll tell me that the keyboard is not working. Okay, I don't think he is there in the class. He's just signed in. So let me eject him off. Nothing wrong. Bye bye, Mohan Krishna. See you. Bye. Select. Remove from meeting. Gone. Mohan Krishna is gone. One less person, as you can see. Look for the numbers. It was 75, now it's 74. So we have been asked to do this. If they don't respond, we can drop you from the class. Let's see. And go log the meeting so that he can come back. So request fulfillment is responsible for managing the life cycle of all service requests. When you have access management, it provides the right for users to be able to use a service or a group of services. Before we go into the origins of the ITIL, let's walk through a sample, the case study. Let me try a few names, and if they don't respond, I will eject them. Some of you have responded. Good. Do I have Bhavana Tumaluri? Bhavana, are you there? So please respond. Bhavana Tumaluri. Tumaluri. Okay, she's not responding. Excellent. So let me share this. Case study. Give me a minute. I'll be back. So let's take a look at a case study. My PDF is visible. Can you guys see my PDF? Yes. A quick thumbs up. Can you guys see my PDF? The document that I'm sharing in the case study. Yes or no? Okay. Thank you. So we're going to show how the ITIL principles, even outside the traditional IT, can transform a customer support operations. So we have a company. We're going to help them with the support. It's a leading washing machine manufacturer. They launched their flagship smart washer called as Hydromax 5000. Within 3 months, the call center was overwhelmed with calls. Customers were waiting. Facing long wait times, agents lacked technical answers. There were repeat calls It was driving the customer satisfaction scores to an all-time low. So they decided to adopt to ITIL V4 practices. For somebody like you suggested, let's go with the ITIL. They were able to transform their call center from a chaotic complaint desk to a streamlined service desk, which reduced the resolution time by 40%. The situation before the ITIL, they were always on a firefighting mode. No centralized tracking. Calls were logged in simple spreadsheets. Email went to different inboxes. There was lack of knowledge. Agents had to ask engineers manually for fixes every time a complex error occurred. Recurring issue, hundreds of users reported error code E45, but each call was treated as an isolated incident. Management had zero visibility, did not know if the E45 was an user error or a manufacturing defect. Service operations. We started off with the service desk, which gave them the single point of contact, which will centralize the communication. So they implemented a service management tool such as a ServiceNow or a Zendesk to act as a single interface to all the incoming channels, phones, chats, emails, IoT alerts. So result, every interaction generated a unique ticket ID, ensuring no request was lost. Then we started off with the incident management. Restore normal service as quickly as possible. That's what was the motto we saw as a part of the slide, right? So here the scenario, a customer calls the reporting her washing machine shows error E45. So the agent will log the ticket under the category hardware, subcategory motor, and the item. And he will choose high priority because it's a complete outage to the customers. Then the agent will check the standard script. If unresolved, they will escalate it to tier 2 technical support. It's a part of SLA. We will also see an SLA example. Since we are getting this on a repeated basis, I told you, I gave an example of Mohan Krishna and his bike. So the problem management saw that it is repeated again and again. So they have to find the root cause and prevent this from happening. The trigger, the problem manager notices a spike under this error E45. So he suggests that we do a root cause analysis and discover what happened. And they finally discovered that a recent firmware upgrade or an update caused the motor sensors to be overly sensitive to vibrations. So the team logs a known error in the system to the agent's to perform a hard reset by holding the power button for 10 seconds. After that, they will share the information of the workaround and publish that in the knowledge base. So next time when a customer calls, it's a centralized data set. The agents will be able to answer and resolve the call in 3 minutes without talking to the tier 2. Now, I know that I did an RCA, root cause analysis, and I found out the reason for this failure. So what am I going to do? I'll implement a patch. The engineering department will develop a firmware patch to fix the sensor sensitivity. Before pushing the update to thousands of Wi-Fi connected washers, they will test it in a small group, what's called as risk assessment, to ensure that it doesn't break other features. Then the patch is pushed over the air to all active machines. After doing the change enablement, I will move on to the configuration management database. The configuration management database will contain all the data about the machines and the relationships. The database tracks which customer owns which serial number, what is their warranty status, what is the current firmware. So as a result, when a customer calls, the agent will immediately see that the Hydromax was purchased on so and so date. The warranty is active. It's currently running firmware version 2.0. So customer calls, the service desk agent looks up, finds the auto-populated detail from the CRM or the CRM DB, and then the agent searches the symptoms in the knowledge base. Known issue, door launch sensor. Resolution agent schedules a technical dispatch immediately because the system confirms the part discovered under warranty. And then he marks an SMS confirmation with the ticket number and the technician's times. This is what exactly is happening in most of the organizations, such as Samsung and LG. So what were the key metrics before and after the implementation of this ITIL concept is first call resolution, percentage of calls resolved on the first attempt. It was just 35, here it is 78. Wow. Average duration 18, 8. Call pass to two tier 14%, 10%. Customer happiness score 2.1, 4.6. But did we learn anything from this? We always do a lessons learned system. Don't confuse incidents with problems. Treating every breakdown as a unique mystery will waste your time. Grouping them will reveal the underlying defect. Shift left by using knowledge management, expensive engineering solutions. Tier 3 were moved to the service desk agents. Tier 1, saving money and time. Accurate configuration management. Data is the king. You don't have to ask the customer, can you look at the serial number? Can you do this? Can you do that? So we were mentioning this SLA several times, which means that if you read a document that defines the commitment
Sir, your mic is muted.
Thank you. The commercial clients, one is the residential customer with standard 1 year warranty, and then the commercial clients like Hydromax Pro owners who pay for gold care. Not all washing machine failures are equal. So you need to work on priorities based on urgency, how quickly I should work, and that's your impact. So you have a priority code and a priority level. If it is P1 and critical, safety hazard, immediate risk of fire, flooding, or injury. There's a smoke in the motor, machine is flooding the apartment, Then P2 is high level, total loss of service. The machine is completely unusable, but there is no immediate safety hazard. Like you're not able to, machine will not power on, door is locked inside with wet clothing. P3 is medium, partial functionality loss. The machine works, but certain features are not working. Say, for example, the delicate cycle isn't working. Some cycles are not working. That's medium. Then comes your P4, low priority, which talks about general questions, spare parts requests for cosmetic damages. How do I use the econo mode? There's a scratch on this. So you have an SLA metrics, which talks about the response and resolution targets. The response time is the time from the customer's call until a ticket is logged and an agent acknowledges it. Resolution time is the time to provide a fix, troubleshooting step, booking a technician, or answering the question. So if you are a premium or a VIP customer, within 5 minutes response, P2 30 minutes, 2 hours, 4 hours. What do I do with the resolution? Technician will be sent within 2 hours. Remote fix will be done or dispatch in 8 hours. Medium 24 hours, and the low is $40. If you are a standard customer, the response time here was 5 minutes, it's 15 minutes. 2 hours, 8 hours, 24 hours. Similarly, the number of days will increase. We'll also have to have a breach protocol. If a ticket sits untouched closer to the deadline, the system will automatically escalate. So at 75% of SLA time, the agent receives a pop-up alert. 100% is set, and the ticket turns red and goes to the shift leader. At 150% SLA time, the ticket is forwarded to the regional service. So this is also the clock stop. So you will have to, if you're waiting for the customer to respond, for a parts to come, severe weather preventing technical travel, technicians travel, all must be reported. So then we do the implementation strategy of the service desk. To make this work, we'll use an automated routing. So configure the phone so that the caller selects smoke or fire, they'll bypass the queue because you require a critical response team. VIP recognition can also be, if you are a gold customer, you can also skip the line. Agents must see countdown timer on the screen for every open ticket, right? So 2 hours time to fix. Excellent. Now, we see this better. Come back here. Origin society. Let me complete this case study and then go back. That's better. Okay, so we can also have two distinct templates populated with data. So these examples highlight the critical difference between the incident management and problem management. I told you an example, right? Incident management focuses on getting the user back quickly on, while the problem management is focusing on finding the underlying cause to stop the issue from happening. So let's start with the incident management. A quick fix. It's a tier 1 support. Restore service to customer to mark as fast as possible. Ticket ID when the ticket was logged, who was the caller, what was the asset details. Customer states the machine stops mid-cycle, display plan flashes. Error E45 continuously, door remains locked. So we know this total loss of function, wet close locked inside. Priority 2 incident, single user impacted. So verify the power source, check water inlet, check knowledge base. So the knowledge base says instruct the customer to hold the hard reset for 10 seconds. Machine unlocked, drain, customer advised to avoid using EcoSpin until they get a further notice. Status linked problem ID. If there is anything, we go to the linked problem. Then for a problem management, what should I do? I will have to deep dive, obviously, right? That is the quiz must be yeah. The quiz must be visible now. One of you check that and confirm for me. So the problem management and the engineering team is supposed to identify why that E45 is happening for hundreds of users and find a permanent fix. So this linked problem ID PR004 is here. Okay, so there's a spike in E45. What is the logic? 450 incidents linked to this. 224,8892 ticket. Wow, that's a lot. So we'll do the root cause analysis method, the 5 whys method. Why did the machine stop? Why did the sensor trigger? Why was the threshold exceeded? Why was it interpreted as critical? Why was the tolerance low? So because of all the 5 whys, we were able to find that root cause as a software. This contains firmware version 2.0, contains incurrent vibration, tolerance parameters for residential hardware. Then you have your solution and deployment. So agents are expected to instruct the users to use low spin mode or hard reset for unlock the doors. Thank you, Salman. Permanent solution, develop a firmware patch, restoring 15% variance tolerance. Coding 2 days, QA 1 day, OTA. The risk assessment says it's a low risk change because patch only reverts specific sensor parameters. Sign off, date closed. Lessons learned, future firmware updates must separate industrial and residential configuration files. For this change that we identified that's a problem, for this they have to change. So I have to give you a permission slip. This is required to modify the live environment because the previous E45 issue was caused by a sloppy update. So we have a change advisory board which will scrutinize the request heavily to ensure this version 2.1 fix does not create new problems. So the change management request representing the operations of Indian subsidiary for spin cycle. Emergency firmware rollout. Resolve E45 fault. Change type emergency due to high volume. Who's the requester? Lead engineer Rajesh Kumar. He's saying fast reverse vibration mode. Why the Hydromax 5000 main control valve. Risk assessment, risk level medium. Why? Because there are small, only very small changes in the parameters. The updates always carry a risk of connectivity failures. Impact of failure. If the update fails mid-installation, machine may become unresponsive, requiring physical technician visit. Impact of not changing, continued influx of tickets. So you do the pros and cons and decide, okay, I will proceed with the change. So then we do the implementation plan. This is a run book. All machines must be online. Pilot group, do one pilot group. Phase 1, 10%. Phase 2, remaining 90%. Push the update to the cloud server. Machines will download silently and apply upon next power up. Backup plan recommendation. What happens if this fails? If 1% of the update machine reports boot error or a V45 persists in the pilot group, the cloud server will stop the V21 2.1 push immediately. Command will be sent to force degrade all machines back to version 1.1, skipping the problematic 2.0 entirely. So the sensor tolerance confirmed at 15% variance, regression passed, the eco mode worked, delicate cycle worked, deployed to 50 employee-owned machines in Bangalore and Delhi, zero found to be errors. This is how organized companies work. So then the board members, President Anjali, Dr. Vikram Singh, Amit Patel, they say approval granted due to critical impact on the customer support. Anjali decided to ensure service desk. We start with extra capacity on October 20th to handle any potential boot failures. Fantastic, right? And then after we do the implementation, the next step is post-implementation review. Here, the PAR takes place a few days after the change is closed. It is the report card that tells the business if the change actually solved the problem or fanned the problem, created new ones. So the post-implementation review, 48 hours after the deployment, will be done by Rajesh Kumar and Anjali Desai. So the emergency rollout was successful. The update has applied 96% of the active fleet in India. The primary objective of reducing the volume of P2 related to motor failure has been met. Start time, completion time. Success rate 96%. Plan 100. Backup trigger was required? No. So the deployment took 1 hour 15 minutes longer than expected due to slower than anticipated ISP. Now, what is the volume for Anjali Desai? Pre-change volume 52 tickets. Post-change volume only 3 new tickets. 94 production. So these three new tickets were from the customers whose machines were unplugged during the update window. Unexpected side effects. While E45 error was fixed, the service desk noticed a minor spike in new category, Wi-Fi connection drop. After the reboot, about 2% of the old routers failed to assign an IP address to the washing machine immediately. So agents advise the customers to restart their home. Nice, right? Then we have the lessons learned and recommendation. Customers were confused why their machine beeped at 3 a.m. So future change, make sure you update them with a warning. Bandwidth congestion delayed the central India. Split the main phase into 4 regions. Knowledge base, the router restart fix wasn't in the script immediately. So future changes, update the KB article to include router restart as step 1 for post-update connectivity. Final verdict, change service closed. Next review non-required. Then the last one is about pushing Then we create a knowledge base article, which tells you about the category, the last update, what was the issue description, what were the common phrases that the customer used, and then what was the root cause. So the agent troubleshooting script is, if it is the error, then he will ask them to unplug the Wi-Fi router, wait for 10 seconds, plug it back in, wait for the internet lights to stabilize. Washing machine should automatically reconnect within 2 minutes. So step one is hard reset, and then use. So did the update break my machine? No. Why did this happen at 3 a.m.? We scheduled the update. So they tell you how to even answer. Fantastic, isn't it? Isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Nice. The origins of the ITIL. I told you it began in the Britain. Then in 1998, we had a second condensed version, new version of ITIL v3 in 2007. In 2013, we had the V4. Then we have V5 in 2019. 2011 V3 was released in 19. So we had looked at all these 5 distinct stages. So as an IT organization, what are the current challenges? Documented collection of stovepipe functions. So from there, we are going to move on to the commodity computing utility, narrow technology, exploiting standards, transparent, consistent, and easily audited, process-based, both IT and with business. My voice is breaking. Why? Let me check. I have 100 MBs. Let me just turn off the video. Just see. Okay, is it better now? Shivam and Deepshika. Better? Yeah, okay. All right. Just turn off the video. Today, because there was a fire in our apartment day before yesterday. all the communications line got burnt. So I'm running the class on my mobile data. But the mobile data shows this is what my mobile data shows. This is a real good speed. It shows, this is what it shows. Bling hot. Thank you for that. So the organization's increasing dependency, IT, high visibility of failure, user requirements, etc. etc. So what is a service? What is an IT service? If I want to get something, such as a phone service or a internet or television channels, I'm not going to go and install a huge antenna at the top of my house. I will go to service providers. So hence service is a means of delivering value to a customer by facilitating the outcome that the customer wants without the ownership costs and risks. So the IT service management is in totality of IT service provision, including the management of the infrastructure and environment. So you have the IT service. So the good IT service management is going to ensure that my customers' expectations are met. The objective is to align IT services with the current and the future needs, improve the quality, and give reduced costs. Needs high quality, low cost. It's, as I would call this, is a Bermuda Triangle. Very difficult. 4 P's involved in the key elements: people, process, products, partners. People play a role here. Products, technology, process has to be in place, and your partners. Developed in the 1980s. It's a public body. It helps organizations to improve service levels and reduce the cost. There's 10 interlocking processes for service support and service delivery. It also provides guidance on IT security, business management. A 10 ITL processes as described: service support, service delivery. Service support focuses on management of essential operational process, delivery on strategic management of IT services. So you start off and that's where we ended up. To define the problem, the problem can be untested change management or overloaded because of this application failure. It could be because of hardware, software, network, or it could be because of operational error, which is 40%, alarming. Why should I use ITIL? ITIL can lift your organization from a level 0, which is to a level 4 focus level, service focus. So you move from a cost center into a profit center organization. If you're at level 0, it is always ad hoc. Level 2, it's reactive, you firefight. At level 2, you are proactive, you do a trend analysis, set thresholds. At level 3, your IT service classes are activity-based costs, and you meet the SLAs. At level 4, strategic business partner. IT is your management, IT services, all of this will be dealt in detail. When I talk about ITIL, ITL is not a complete blueprint where you can build your own building depending on your needs. It's just the bricks. It's not going to tell you how to build your business. It's just bricks. ITL is not a quick fix, but it's a set of processes that you have to build into a mindset of your employees. ITL is not something you buy, although you can buy help from to implement. Changing an organization. ITL is not another method of control, but a way of setting up your organization so that it works towards the goals without controlling management. So these are the detailed steps of the 5 phases. Quality approach. ITIL focuses on providing high quality services such as ISO 9000 plus the following benefits: best practice guidance. It's non-proprietary, it's very comprehensive and consistent terminology. It is written by practitioners for the practitioners. That's a beauty. It doesn't belong to a single vendor, so you can use it without paying. Rather than focusing on one domain, it captures all the essential support services and integrates them. One of the greatest strengths and the benefits is the usage of the terminology, which is used across the service management process. That is a major key. So when I differentiate process using ITIL criteria, I can differentiate them as tactical process, operational process, applicable tactical process, and applicable operational processes. We'll deal with this in detail. Comparison we already done in the first one. Core ITSM also we have done in the first one. Service support is about focusing on day-to-day operations and support all the IT services to maintain the delivery. Configuration management talks about hardware, software related documentation, the relationship between this. Incident, problem, change, and release. Service delivery is the area where service management that delivers to end users. Somebody's unmuted. Service catalog, availability, capability, cost, and continuity. Service strategy is what are we going to provide? Can we afford it? Can we provide enough of it? How do we gain competitive advantage? The perspective is vision, mission, strategic goals, position, plan, and fit the organizational culture. You define the 4 activities, define the market, develop the offerings, develop strategic assets, prepare for execution. When it comes to service assets, things you buy or pay for, infrastructure, people, money, tangible assets. Capabilities, things you grow, ability to carry out on the activity, intangible assets, transform resources into services. Service portfolio management talks about how to prioritize and manage investments and resource allocation. So the business case, replace, rationalize, renew, and retire. How are we going to provide it? Service design tells you how are we going to build it? How are we going to test it? It's a holistic approach. Processes in the service design, availability, capacity, supplier, and service catalog management. Service level management also talks about operational level agreements, underpinning contracts that you have internally, and the success of SLA. So how many services have SLAs? How does the number breach of SLA change over time? We saw an SLA. In an SLA, you will see service description, hours of operation, user response time, availability, change response, critical operational periods. I'll also send you one full-fledged SLA document for reference. Benefits of ITIL service strategy. Alignment of new change, support business cases, resolve conflicting demands, improve service quality. Agree on SLAs, measure the IT quality, improved IT governance, most effective service management. Benefits of your ideal transition, you're able to align the new or the change service, adapt quickly to the new service. You will see improved success rates. Provide consistent, rigorous framework. Service benefits of service operation is delivering at agreed levels. Management and monitoring of technology that is used to deliver the support services, ensuring appropriate IT organization. Continuous service improvement benefits, commitment to ongoing quality, ongoing improvement, ROI, VOI, and continual improvement. So this is the relationship to other processes. The common myths of the ITIL is you must implement all ITL or not at all. Wrong. ITL is not based on infrastructure management principles. ITL does not apply only to data center operations. Everyone needs to be trained on ITL fundamentals, not required. Full understanding of ITL required purchase of library, not at all. It's open source. ITIL process should be implemented only one at a time. No, it can be done in parallel. ITIL provides detailed templates. No, it is just a framework. ITL applies only to large shops. No, it can apply even to a small shop. It recommends tools for use of implementation. It does not recommend tools. Again, it is just a framework. There is little need to understand the ITL origins. No, you need to understand the ITL origins in depth. These are the benefits. Again, this is a case study that has been tell you how to revolve around a company is implementing a service desk. So a mid-sized software company, they're increasing incidents without formal process for reporting, no way to track them. Users are frustrated on the slow response time. So they went with the service strategy and service design, service transition, and the service operation. So this tells you exactly, another example for you. So the incident resolution reduced by 40%. Users appreciate the transparency provided by the service desk. High priority issues are addressed earlier, reducing critical business operation impact. So this brings us to the end of this session. Thank you very much. So rapidly don't close due to my network stop. Can I do it again? Yeah, try it. Lakshay, you can, you should be able to try. It's available till for another 15 minutes. You can try. Let me know. Try it and let me know if you're able to take it. See you all next week. Please complete the quiz.